This is a brief overview of the C-Bossa Warm Up for middle school jazz bands. The main teaching and rehearsing concepts behind this warm-up are centered around the rhythm section. It uses a simple 2-chord alternating groove. This can focus on a really solid groove for your rhythm section. Rhythm section players have a choice of a simple or more challenging part based on their skill level. Wind players all have 4 lines which outline all of the chord tones and the 2 alternating chords, building from the root up to the 7th or 9th, depending on the chord as they go to line 4. Different sections can be assigned different lines, as multiple lines can be played simultaneously to create layering. This can be used as a routine practice tool for teaching improvisation or memorizing simple skills for improvisation. The other benefit of these lines is it does focus on some typical Latin syncopation. The zip file includes a 1-page PDF part, one for each instrument. It has a short worksheet for a small lesson or listening activity along with an answer key. It has a page of 2 basic possible pentatonic improvisation scales for each instrument, and an MP3 backing track for students to use to practice with or in the absence of a rhythm section in class. I often use this practice track for students to create assignment recordings with. Some other accommodations include an alternate page of the tuba part playing the bass line, an alternate page for the baritone sax player that can play the bass line, or to give more confidence to your bass player by having them play along with. An optional flute and French horn page are also included. The trumpet page may also be used for clarinet. The guitar page includes both tabs and chord symbols. All wind players have chord symbols above their measures as well. Let's take a listen to the backing track for this bossa warm-up, as well as a couple of the different parts available.
1, 2.
Here we can see the 2 options for a bass player. They have number 1, which is a very simple bass pattern, and then a more standard bossa pattern that occurs after that. Both of them are fairly related to each other and repetitive enough that they will be able to learn both relatively easy. All the wind parts are unison. You can start off by learning one line at a time. Eventually, you can start to layer these on top of each other, having one section play one line and a different section playing one of the different lines as you wish. Line 1 is super basic and just involves the root of each chord. The second line also uses the root, but adds also the 9th of each of the chords and the 3rd of one of the chords as well. When students get to line 3, it adds more syncopation as well as more chord tones. So now we are typically playing the root, 3rd, and 5th of each chord. By the time we get to line 4, we are incorporating all of the chord tones between the 2 chords. You'll notice that the direction changes linearly so that it almost sounds like note selections that could be incorporated into a solo. A brief look at the short lesson that you can use with students either as a homework assignment or in class. Has a very brief background of the bossa nova style, talks about the form, gives some standard bossa nova artists and albums, and has a short fill-in thing on the bottom for students to fill out to look up some information about certain musicians.